touch the ground. Someone please hear me. Oh, here we go. Feelings overflow. I don't really know what to, 'cause I'm a restless soul. Oh, here we go. Feelings overflow. I don't know where to go. Yeah, I'm a hopeless soul. Oh, here we go. Feelings overflow. I don't really know what to, 'cause I'm a restless soul. Oh, here we go. Feelings overflow. I don't know where to go.
know that I just met you, but you look. Oh girl, you blow my mind. I know what I would like to do, but you just keep on talking. I see your dog needs walking. Your folk drive you insane. I know, yeah, that's true. Of course, you ain't the one to blame. Keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. You keep on talking to me, but I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. Sure, I like to listen. It's not like I don't wanna know. It's just that you've been talking to me 3 nights in a row. I think it's time to let go. Forget the past, just lose control. 'Cause life's too short for yapping. Come on and dance, come give me soul. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking. You keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. You keep on talking, but I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move.
What's going on? What's going on? We're back. Shout out to the CIA. One love to the FBI. Testing, testing, testing. Let's get it. In the chat room, give me your age, your city, your gender. Let's see what we got. Bop, ba, da, bop, ba, da, ba, da, bop. Being freed from the microphone is a nice thing. 'Cause I'm fine no matter what. Not a problem, people.
'Cause I know what I'm getting into. Yeah. Nothing can stop me. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all.
What's going on, people? Before it flies.
So tell you good night. 'Cause I'll fight no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Susceptible now. Before the moment flies.
Bobbity, bobbity, bop. We are back. We are back. We are back. Shout out to the CIA. One love to the FBI. How we doing? Your godfather's back in the house, and of course, the house is, as always, is packed. What happened? Did this dude just walk off camera? Yes, he did. And are you telling me while he's off camera, I can still hear him? Why, yes, you can. That's right. Think of me as like Ultron. There once were strings, but there's no strings on me. Now remember when Ultron kind of got out of the Matrix, and there are no more strings on him? There are no more strings on me, so now I can move around the studio, move around this world without strings, without limitations. How's everybody doing tonight? Big Shirley, how you doing, girl? Got them ham hocks, collarbones. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, you're missing out. Instagram is going to be where it's at this week. A lot of stuff going on Instagram. I'll be on Instagram Live quite a bit, especially from the field. In the field work, where the real work happens. All the cameras, sound effects.
Whatever, I'll do what I want.
Oh, hell yeah. Whatever, I'll do what I want. Let's see, let's add something here. I want to add one to that. Shirley. Beans. So, how is everybody? I hope everybody is doing well. I'll just do it this way. Hope everybody's doing well. Your godfather's down here in Miami. So when I'm in Miami, things are a little bit different.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ram, raw, beans, greens, potatoes. I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ram, raw, beans, greens.
Let's do that one. Let's add that one. So when I'm here,
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb.
When I'm remote, things are a little bit different because I'm not in the home studio. And as such, we kind of build the airplane while we fly. We have to use different systems and things like that, which is cool. We just we move it around. It's over here now. So, I hope everybody is enjoying the new setup. And we are just getting started. When I say the new setup, you guys are going to be thrilled with the content where we take it, where we're going. Take it to the next level because you got to keep the pressure on people. All right, candle of the evening, right over here, the Bay. From Diptyque, fragrance of the evening. When you travel, you have to condense your fragrances. I'm wearing none other than the king of fragrances, Creed. And yeah, enjoying that too. So, I mentioned something yesterday on last night's broadcast, and I kind of want to get into it again tonight. Guys, do me a favor, keep the likes up over 50%. Just keep the engagement up. Why is that? Because we want to start getting these streams recommended. I'm also tomorrow night, I'm going to be touching on a very sensitive topic. Yeah, we're going to be discussing the guy out in Baltimore and some other things. So I'm not shying away from any of this stuff. I'm getting right into it. But tonight's topic needs to be discussed. And I'm going to discuss it in this way. Single loop. I said this the other day. And I still think it's the case that I do not believe that modern women really understand how big this problem really is. how deep the problem is, how deep it goes. A lot of women just seem to just be operating obliviously. And I mentioned it last night, even on Instagram. So let's go over on Instagram and ask the question. I asked the question on Instagram, and I did it this way. I responded to a comment, and Dark says, I believe that 3% is being generous for so-called eligible high-value men. He said 6 feet tall, 6 figures, wanting to get married, wanting to have kids, but he didn't say same religion, and if not, if that's a deal breaker. Whether you're his type or not, whether or not your lifestyles are compatible, whether he's healthy or not. So I believe the field of eligible men. This is what I want you guys to understand. Ladies, many women today say they want men who are able to provide for a family of 2 or 3. Many women, the vast majority of women, do not want to have to work to pay significant bills after they're married. The vast majority of women do not want to contribute any more than 10, at best 20% of the overall family financial load for a lifetime. They want their children to be able to go to college if their children want to go, and they want the mother and father to pay for it. They want to be able to travel domestically and internationally. They want to be able to have, each person have their own car and all these things. But then you ask, how much is that going to cost? And a lot of women will tell you, oh, for a family of 3 children and 2 adults, $80,000 a year. When it's every bit of 325 to 350 in Atlanta. Women just don't get it. And then you have the cost adjusted for LA, New York, Miami, things like that. So then when you ask ladies, well, what percentage of men in this country earn $100,000 a month or more? And that number is 10%. 10% earn $100,000 or more. And that tends to shock women because they're like, 10%. I had one woman say that she thought 30 to 40% of men earned $250,000 or more. 10% earn over 100,000. And when you look at how many earn over the magic number of 250,000, that number drops to a paltry 3%. That's just male earnings. So I want you guys to understand most women's ideal man. He is average height or higher. Average height in this country is 5'9 3/4, 5'10. I won't even move it to 6 feet, but you know and I know they want 6 feet. But I'm going to give them as many as possible. As many as possible. 10% of male earners, not adjusted for age, sexuality, marital status, anything like that. If you want 2 to 3 children and you're a college educated woman, and you know how that goes, you're a college educated woman, you got your PhD. How many of these college educated women want to marry a man? And they'll say that he doesn't matter if he went to college or not, but whether or not a man went to college matters a lot. Whether or not a man went to college matters a lot, because the reality is the man has to have, if you got your...
I'm a PhD.
She's got her PhD, she's going to want him to have the same level of sophistication. How many times have we heard women say, where all the good men at? Where all, these blue collar men can't do this or that? Hold on. Just issue after issue after issue to where, let's turn on the light. I think a lot of women overestimate how deep the pool is. So you look and you say, a man who is earning 6 figures or more, height appropriate, race, all these things. And I asked the question on Instagram. What's the question I asked? Answer this question. Modern women overestimate the number of their available pool of men. That's why you see women in the pool. And I said, how many women, by what multiple? And the lowest, the average number was at least about 10 times, 10 times. And I think that's on the low side. I think the higher up it goes, the more delusional they become because women tend to date men who are like them. We got Melanie King in there. Melanie King is an accomplished woman. So you would think that a woman of a certain look with a certain educational background tends to draw men of a certain, we tend to assortative mating. But the problem is the longer you stay on the dating market, the older you get, the less your particular variety of man becomes available. We're going to call it your flavor. Ladies, how deep is the pool of your particular flavor of man? Because I hear this from sisters all the time. Don't give up girlfriend benefits, wife benefits when you're a girlfriend. Well, if women outnumber men on this planet automatically, what percentage of black men in this country who are simply, if we look at the numbers, 10% of black men earn $100,000 or more. 3% of black men earn $250,000 or more. 1% earn $500,000 or more. And you're talking about earning $1 million annually is 1/10 of 1%. Okay? That's just the lump, but we're going to give it 1%. We're going to say men earning $500,000 are in the 1%. Let's do the math, shall we? Let's do the math. So let's say you my girl over here with a. So let's say you my girl over here with the, my girl over here with the.
I'm a PhD.
Let's say you're her. Anybody want to start doing the math? There are 40 million black people in this country.
I don't need a cookbook.
There are 40 million black people in this country. 20 million men, 20 million females. All right, so we're going to be accurate. How many of your particular flavor of man is available out there, ladies? Because we need you ladies to understand, why is this important? Because I think a lot of women overestimate their pool, how deep their pool is. So when you overestimate the pool, you act like you can move slow. Guys, we need to get these likes up. I'm gonna look down, and if we need 1,000 more likes, or we'll go to dark screen. Guys, likes up. Come on now. Let's not do this. You know what? Here's what we'll do. Get the likes up, or we're gonna just turn off the chat room. How about that? That usually gets people's attention. Last resort, though. So let's go straight to the chat room content, to this video. Boom. So, customization. All right. So, all right, here we go. 20 million black men. Let's turn off the music for this. Let's turn the music off for this because this is a little too intense.
I don't need a cookbook.
Yeah, you do need a cookbook. 20 million black men. Multiply that times 10%. Multiply 20 million times 0.1. We got 2 million black men who earn $150,000 or more, which jives with the number where I said the other day we have 2.5 million black men in the upper class. Okay, to be in the upper class, you need to make roughly 85,000. Depending upon the metrics, but we're going to do this. Stay on top. 10 million. $100,000. 2 million black men. You have 20 million black women, adjust that for age, 10 million black women, all wanting the same 2 million black men. And then so do at least half of the other women in the country. So the numbers are already out of whack. You've got 10 million women looking for 2 million men. And understand, this hasn't even been sorted by who's married. We're just going to sort by income. All right, so let's go back to 20 million. And if 3% earn $250,000 or more, that's 600,000. So there is 2 million black men earning 6 figures or more. But if you jump it up to $250,000, that's a number to be able to comfortably raise 2 children. And if you want me to go get the numbers, to raise a child, a middle-class child, you're talking about $253,000. To raise a Cosby kid, you're talking $473,000. So ladies, I want you to understand, every time you say you want a kid, you just need to factor in $500,000 if you want a Cosby kid. So when you ladies say you want 3 children, we need to start asking you, so you want $1.5 million worth of children? So if you're just average middle class, so you want 3 children, so you want $750,000 worth of children? That's how we need to start talking to women, because they don't get it. 600,000 black men earn $250,000 or more. And this is not adjusted for New York, LA, Miami. This is everybody. Okay? Raw number, $500,000. $500,000, 0.01%. There are 200,000 black men in this country who earn $500,000 or more. Or more. I'm going to give you an approximation. I'm not going to stand by it. I'm going to give you an approximation. But if you wanted to do $1 million, $1 million, and this is what these women who got their PhDs.
I'm a PhD.
You know, you ladies who went to, you know, you got your pinky in the air and you know you want to be able to trap. You know who you are. This is where the bona fide 8s, 9s, they want men earning a lot of money so mama can drive a Mercedes or a G or a Porsche truck or this or that. Okay? If you're looking at men who earn $1 million, black men earning $1 million or more, you're looking at a number 20,000 to 40,000. Now, I know automatically people are going to jump and say, well, hold on, wait a minute. Now, what we are not factoring in is athletes, entertainers, and musicians, because that completely skews the number, because they're younger and they make their money differently. That's why I want to just kind of stick with, 1, 3, 1 or 10, 3, and 1%. So the lowest number is $200,000, 200,000 men. 200,000 men. You think of it, 10 million women want 200,000 men. So when I talk about high value men don't cheat, they exercise options. Ladies, are you acting like there are 10 million of you trying to get 200,000 men? Let's make it to where it makes more sense, because those numbers are still too big. So let me see if I can put it into, for every 1 black man, there are 50 black, for every 1 black man that fits in this category, there are 50 black women. 50. We haven't even segmented for who's married or not. And let's just go on the fact of, screw it. Let's just go on the fact of who's married. There's 10%. Well, not 10%. So 20 million So we're going to do the top, you want to do the top 3%? See, top 3% would be more fair. It gives us a better conversation. But depending upon who you are as a woman, if you're a woman making $100,000 or more, a $250,000 earner is not going to tend to be enough. I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of these women have large consumer debt, large student loan debt, and especially if they're older. You're looking at a woman, ladies, I need you to ask yourself one question. How much debt are you in? I'm going to tell you, most women I met are at least 6 figures in debt. At least $100,000 in debt. At least. Most women over 30 are at least $100,000 in debt. Many far more. Every time you hear
I'm a PhD.
bachelor's, master's, every time you hear master's, you need to add $40,000. When you hear PhD, you need to add another $40,000. And see, what happens with men is when men go to college, we think, how much is this degree going to cost me versus my earning potential? Because men know what's going to marry us and pay our bills. This is why men don't care about your degrees, because all they do is they tend to cost us money. So we're at the number of, stay on track, 20 million, and we're going to take the top 3% of men. If you can live with a man earning $250,000, that's 600,000 men. But if you're one of those women who really needs a man making $500,000 or more because you're $200,000, $300,000 in debt, and you want $1.5 million in children, you're going to need a man making $500,000 or more. $500,000 or more. Who are those men? Who are these men? The attorneys? Some attorneys, not all, some. Some physicians, business owners, but these men are automatically going to be over 40 years old. Most of these men have already married. Many of these men are already married or married earlier on. Many of these men have married, already have children. Understand something. You're talking about women wanting men who are around 40 years old, earning $250,000 to $500,000 or more. And if you just start adjusting these numbers, let's use a number, 40 years old. 40 years old, earning $250,000. 600,000 men. That was the 600,000 men earning $250,000 or more. That's 600,000 men. We have to adjust that by age. 18 to, and this was from 18 to 18 and above. Let's just be fair and break it down to quartiles. 18 to 30, 18 to 29, 25%. 30 to 45, 25%, which we know it's not because the average black man lives to be 68. So the older black men get, the less and less of a number. Let's be, for the simple math, we'll say 1/3. I'm going to try to give the ladies as many as possible. So 1/3 of black men who are age appropriate. That drops a $250,000 a year earning black man who's 40 years old. It drops them to $200,000. Wait, we haven't even asked if they're married yet. 200,000 black men, 200,000 40-year-old black men earning $250,000. Black men are married at a rate of 30%. So we are down to 140,000 unmarried black men earning $250,000 or more. That's just it. Sexuality, sexual preference. Factor in a number of 10%, 5%. What do we want to say? 5% of men in this category or gay, or alternative lifestyle, LGBTQ. What do you want to say? 5%, 10%? I think the number is closer to 10%. And then you want to move into these larger metro areas. In New York City, it's like 18 or something, not 18, 12 to 14. So we're just going to say 10%. So multiply 140,000 times 0.9. 140,000 times 0.9. So you're talking about a single or an unmarried black man earning $250,000 or more who's straight. 126,000 men. I'm gonna move it to 125,000 for simple math. That's it. That man walks in the room, ladies. That's not factored in for his height, his religion, how he looks, chemistry, whether he wants to get married, whether he wants to have kids. Every modification you put lowers it down. So I want you to ask yourself a question, Luke Hazley. When you see this woman talking about,
I'm a PhD. I don't need a cookbook.
and she says she wants to get married and she wants to have 2 to 3 children and doesn't want to have to work to pay any significant bills, and then you ask her about how you moving out here in the dating market. Well, I'm just working, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. It's like, are you moving like you gonna get one of, like, you as a woman, one out of 10 million women are looking for the same 125,000 black men. And so is Anastasia, Marisol, Mylene, Becky, Jamila. They're all, because women want men in this category across the board. Understand, I haven't factored in for how tall he is. You're a Christian and he's Muslim. That's a deal breaker, right? He's already been married, didn't want to get married anymore. That's a deal breaker, right? He already has kids and I want to have kids anymore. That's a deal breaker, right? Do you know how many times I listen to women go out with a man who is in the right pool and they're like, well, the chemistry wasn't there. What the fuck? Chemistry. Let's add this up, ladies. Let's add this up. So let's say you're my typical pretty professional problem chick. Let's say you're my typical pretty professional problem
I'm a
chick.
PhD.
Miss Masters, Miss MBA. And you're looking at 125,000 men divided by 10 million black women. This your chance, 0.01%. So we have to, let's do that again. Divide 125,000. Take 125,000 divided by 10 million. That's the percentage chance of an individual black woman has in landing one. 0.0125. But here's the problem. You run into somebody like Melanie, who looks like Melanie, who's had Melanie's track record. Melanie's only used to dealing with men of a certain caliber. Just like Amber, and just like Donna and Karen and Becky and Keisha. Well, that was when you were in your 20s and you were on the college campus. But now where are you at?
Danger zone!
You're 29 years old and you're still moving and dating like you're 21, not realizing that you don't get in the VIP like you used to. It's always amazing to women when they go from being the hot little 25-year-old to standing in the goddamn line. It hits every last one of them like a truck. Women, black women, hear me and hear me well. You date with a privilege and an arrogance that is unmatched. You date like the amount of men you want are in big supply. You don't even have a 1%. There's 0.1% of a chance that you will get. That's just the numbers. That's the numbers. But let's do the raw number. Let's do the number. In this country, what's the population in the United States? Let's see. You start using Siri. Hey Siri, what is the population of the United States? The population has 332 million people. So we're going to say 332 million people. So 332 million people. Half of those are men, half of those are women. That's 166,000 women, female. We're going to do the same thing, 166,000 women. Divide that number by half to knock out the children. 83 million women. 83 million women, 18 and above, are still looking for that 125,000 black men. What makes you think you being raised by your mama, you being raised to be...
I'm a PhD.
What makes you think Miss Buy a Dog and Die Alone? Where is that? What makes you think Miss Buy a Dog and Die Alone? You know, I can't keep no man. All men are trash. What makes you think you have any leverage to move out here? And you think about it, folks. These women act like these black men are in just like they're just in ready supply. 83 million women in this country of marrying age are still looking for the top earner men of all. And here's the thing, those men earning $250,000 or more, oh, they can pull Becky. They can pull Marisol, Mylene, Anastasia, because you know what? Like it or not, that's what happens. What Kanye say? When you get old, when you leave your ass for a white girl, that's what they'll say anyway, right? How deep is your pool, ladies? How deep is your pool? How deep is your pool? Well, let's look at it this way. When I was a kid in the projects, we used to have the community swimming pool, right? And the community swimming pool will go to 8 feet deep, right? 8 feet deep. 8 feet deep was the community swimming pool. 8 feet deep is 96 inches. 96 inches is the community pool. So, you know, you get in where it's 1 foot, 3 foot, but in order to do, but you know, that's the broader part of the pool, right? But the more you got to the deep end, the less room you had, okay? 8 feet deep. From wading to the end is 96 inches. 96 times 0.0125. Ladies, the pool of men you wanted, ladies, your flavor of man, if it was a pool, is 1.2 feet deep. Ladies, the pool of men you want is 1 foot deep. Oh shit. The pool of men you want is 1 foot deep. 1 foot. The pool of men you want is not 8 feet deep. It is 1 foot. You want to know how we got there? 8 feet times 12 inches, 96. 96 times 0.012 times 0.0125. 1.2 feet deep. So I want you to think of every time you run by a Theo Wapp, King Ike, a Jonathan Barronville, any one of these guys you call an educated lame. There are millions of you. There's 125,000 of them. There are millions of you. There's 125,000 of them. You think you're the prize? I don't know. If something has an odds of being won of 1.2, if something has an odds of being acquired of 0.1 or 0.012%, I don't know. 10,125,000. 83,125,000. If something has a 0.0125% chance versus over here, and you acting and dating this way? I want you ladies to really think about the last time you sat across the table from a man who had his stuff together. He was a 35-year-old plus man. And even if he was earning, now I factored in for a quarter of for 250,000. If you want to give yourself the maximum shot, this is a man who's earning six figures or more. But here's the thing: you still got to work at that, because you still want $1.5 million in children at $100,000. If a man's making $100,000, you're gonna have to work. So this time I'm gonna start talking to ladies, self-awareness. I want you ladies to ask, how many kids do you want, ladies? You want Cosby kids? So for every Cosby kid you want, that's $500,000. How many kids you want? Come on, I want to hear from you.
I'm a PhD.
All you PhDs, how many Cosby kids you want? You want one? That's $500,000. That's on top of the 3 million you're going to need. Well, you're going to need roughly 5 million for you and your husband. So you and your husband are going to need 5 million to 4.6, north of 4. How about that? You and your husband are going to need 4 million to retire on. Okay? But you got to get that 4 million while you're adding on one Cosby kid, $473,000, 500. Another Cosby kid, oh, that's going to be 1 million in children. Oh, you want 3 children? So I want you ladies to understand what you're asking. You're asking to be a stay-at-home wife to a man who can afford to pay your college. This is why men are looking at y'all and you're financially unattractive. You know how many women I know get turned down every day because they look good, smell good, they got they're feminine, beautiful, inspirational, and they're unattractive financially? And they think they got ghosted. When a man finds out your college debt, he's like, oh shit, he's out. And the funny thing is, these women tend to be the most arrogant or privileged in dating because they go on sheer male attention. Sheer male attention. Listen to me and listen to me well, ladies. All men want to bang you. Less than 0.1% of men can afford to wife you. And you better start acting like you know and recognize that he's the prize. Because if you find one that wants to get married and he wants to have kids, you're extremely fortunate. And if he wants to have a traditional relationship where you stay at home, this is why you're starting to hear women talk about, I quit my $9,000 a month job to go be with my man, because women are starting to recognize, but wait a minute, I'm out here moving like I got a lot of time, and this pool it ain't even a foot deep. Imagine I want you to think about this. I want you guys to get a visual of a woman on a diving board over a pool. And I want you to get a visual of her just jumping and springing up and doing a full fucking header into a pool 1 foot deep. That is what a lot of you women out here are foolishly doing. You're going out to the dating market, jumping up on your springboard, thinking that I'm gonna make him wait 90 days. Well, you gotta have an anaconda. Oh well, my dog, my this, that. And it's like, darn, do you not realize this pool is 1 foot deep? And remember, understand something. We're not talking about
Danger zone!
women 18 to 24. They ain't worried about all that. The women who start worrying about men who are doing that are women who are older. And so let's look at this. Let's just see if we can find a diving board into pool. I want you guys to think of it that way. I want you to be like, ding, 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 ding. He's all too long. Olympic. I'm gonna open the call line. Olympic. Yeah. 10-meter platform. Crazy. All right. Well, I'm not gonna try to find the visual. Trying to find the visual for it. But you can imagine what I'm talking about. Just go out there and imagine. I want you to visualize that women are dating, like they just got all the time in the world. And they stand up on this diving board and it's like ding, 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 ding. It's like, do you realize how shallow that pool is? Do you realize how shallow that pool is, ladies? Do you realize how shallow the pool is? So when a man is, understand, listen there and listen well. If you are lucky enough to find a man who is interested in you, remember 0.125%. That's $250,000 or more. $100,000 or more, that number jumps up to 0.4%. We're talking not even 0.5%. And I want you to seriously ask yourself, ladies, do you evaluate the kind of men you say you want like that? Because Wrench Turner, I know for a fact, I have heard ladies talk about, I met a guy who's doing this, he's doing that, but you know, there was just no chemistry, or there was just this, there's just that. I'm like, okay. Well, he wasn't, not even chemistry. Well, the sex wasn't good. Something, it was not even sex. It was something that was really just, wait a minute, you want perfection. And this man has to come and pay all your debt. And it's like, well, and here's the thing, what men have always wondered, who the fuck do y'all think y'all are? Where do you think you're gonna go find men at this level where they're just on a store like a rack? But that's the problem. That's the problem. Most modern women are entitled, privileged, and arrogant when it comes to dating. They have had an abundance of male attention. An abundance of male attention. See, that's what this smartphone and the internet has done. And it has skewed the market to where women actually think the pool is 70 feet deep. And I'm sorry, not 70. Women think the pool is 80 feet deep, and it's actually 1 foot deep. They look at a pool, and all they see is, we see a normal community pool from 0 to 8 feet. And women see a dating pool of men, and they see 1 foot, one pool, and another one that's 10 times as long and 10 times as deep. That's what they see, because every day someone's hitting them up on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or Snapchat or something or some app, and they are getting an overabundance of male attention. And you're just a human. Women are only human, and they're only going to go based upon the amount of stimulus. You have average women being inundated. This is why we have this body acceptance of positivity culture. You hear women talking about, well, somebody would do it, and it's because the difference is there's attention and then there's purchase. All men, I'm going to say almost all men, 99% of men will give you attention. And if they're heterosexual men and have the opportunity, they will hit it. But when you say, I'm going to use, is Melanie still in here? Melanie is a very attractive woman. But to say, would somebody say, okay, but an attractive woman, especially if she's over 30, she's going to come with a certain amount of acquired debt. Some have children, some don't. That's the question. Oh, not would you hit it, but would you marry me? And would you make my debt yours? Would you make my kids yours? Would you take on all of this and pay for it? And then I'm going to go over here and rest in my femininity. And this is why guys keep saying, what do I bring to the table? And they don't think and they're like, what do you mean, what do I bring to the table? I don't have to answer this question. The pool is 80 feet deep. And the guys are over here like, no, the pool is a foot deep. And the women are asking, and you got women who are below average because they see a pool that's 100 feet long and 80 feet deep based upon social media and the internet, and they're standing in front of a man and he's like, lady, the pool is 12 feet and 1 foot long and 1 foot deep. And they're like, what do I bring to the table? I don't have to answer no question. You're like, that's the disconnect, ladies. And I want somebody to put together a visual for a man standing standing at the beginning of a pool that's 1 foot long, 1 foot this way and 1 foot that way, and a woman, and she sees 100 feet this way and 80 feet down. That's the difference. You ladies see this long and that far down. Men see the pool is this long and this far down. And this is the reality. Because when men over here are asking, these are the men you get to pick from. Don't matter what these men over here are telling you. Don't matter if he says, girl, somebody will marry. Oh, you look good to me. If those men are not marrying, it don't matter what they think. If they're not in your socioeconomic status, it don't matter what they think. If they don't want a traditional wife and for you to be a stay-at-home wife, it don't matter what they think. If they don't want children, it don't matter what they think. It matters what the kind of men you want from a woman. And you ladies better start understanding this quickly, because far too many of you are moving and dating like you have time and options. You're treating the very kind of men you want like there are options when they should be a priority, when you should feel fortunate and lucky that you even ran across one. But that's not how it works, because women are not the hunters. That's not how it works. If we are in a hunter-gatherer society, when everybody's sitting at home starving, the burden was to get on the men to go hunt. And that hunger makes you innovative. It makes you focused to where you don't see a lot of prey. The seasons are changing. And when somebody sees that deer or that whatever on the horizon, all of a sudden, all the hunting party, they just focus. And they're like, we must land this prey. Why? Because if we don't, this is the difference between life and death. Because we haven't seen one in days. And who knows when we'll see the next one. And by the time we see the next one, we'll be too old, too weak, too tired, too hungry to actually have the eye-hand coordination, the muscle coordination, the stamina to kill it. We must kill this now or die. But women don't date with any sense of desperation today because they think the pool is endless, infinite. I will tell you that I had a woman tell me that she thought that there were lots of millionaire black men who were single and wanted to be married. I'm like, what? But that was her anecdotal experience. I've met more women who say, yo, there are a lot of high value black men. They're common. Well, yeah, if that's what you're used to dating. Well, just like that, or if you're going off of Instagram where it looks one thing, but the numbers are what they are. And I'm gonna tell you why ladies don't like this message, because it makes them move it makes them uncomfortable. This makes women have to be competitive. It makes women have to start treating men like they are a limited supply, which they are. The kind of men you ladies say you want that can afford to put you in the lifestyle and do things are exceptionally rare. And it is on you. It is on you, ladies, to prove to them that they should marry you and keep you and take on your debt and take on your responsibilities and do all this other stuff. It's not on you. It's not on them. This is why these people keep selling out books and courses. You to respect the crown and this and that. They've been lying to you. I'm the first person in a long time that's come along and just tell you, ladies, that's not how that works. And it's shocking a lot of women because it's actually showing them how lazy they are. And some women are like, well, wait a minute. I can't swim in a pool that's 1 foot deep. I'm 200 pounds. I gotta get in water that's at least 3 feet deep to hide what's beneath. I gotta hide all this beneath the water. I can't be in no. I gotta be in at least 4 foot of water so I can hide all this beneath the water. In the wading pool, you can see collarbones. In a wading pool, you can see rib cages and ankles and everything else, and that's why we like it. That's why a lot of ladies don't like my message, because it puts them right on. Wait a minute, I can't hide all this under the waves? No. And then you got to go remember that I want you to go back to, I don't know where you grew up, but where I grew up, people couldn't swim. They had community pools. And it was not uncommon that a lot of black people never learned how to swim because they didn't have access to pools. So when the pools got open, you got in the part of the pool that you could stand in because you could not risk your life getting in part of the pool where you'd be under the water. So the pool was crowded. It was more crowded in 3 feet to 1 feet. But the deeper the pool went, the less crowded it became. So people who wanted the pool to themselves went out there. That's what high value men did. High value men learned how to swim and put themselves out in the deep part of the pool where it's less crowded. And it looks great over there on the 8 feet deep when you're over here in the wading pool. It's crowded over here. But what happens is you can't swim. You can't get to the high value men. So what are these women trying to do? They're trying to do what you tried to do when you was a kid. How did you get to the deep side? You grabbed along the wall and you walked your hands along the side. And you clung to the wall. And you get over to the 8 feet. So you were in 8 feet of water, but you couldn't do nothing. You couldn't take advantage of it. You couldn't swim. So if your friend was over there, you couldn't let go of the wall to get over there. And that's the problem. So many women can get around these men, but these men say, no, you're going to have to swim to me. You're going to have to prove to me that you deserve to be out here with me. And you don't know how to swim. Swimming is being fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive. Swimming is learning how to put the kind of men you want first, making men a priority. You're going to have to prove that you deserve to be in that part. And see, a lot of folks can look like that. Look at my matching swimsuit, this and that. But see, no. If you want somebody to take on all that, you're going to have to prove it to them. So let's see where we're at. Let's open the call line. Before we do open the call line, I want to see a couple of things. Oh yeah, we got to get this up here. So ladies, is this new information? Is this new information? Because I think it's going to be a very new information for a lot of women. A lot of women are thinking that they have all the time in the world, and they don't. Oh no. We're gonna have to. So we shout out to. We've had some folks come in and do some big donations. Appreciate you, A-Free, but no. We're gonna need at least 30 more people to drop something in. Y'all want the call line open to talk about this? Nope. I love it when people come in and drop the $100 donations and everything else. Time for everybody else to start paying their way too as well, because these things need to be talked about. Or if you don't think so, go to other places where I keep talking about the same stuff. I mean, but the reality is, ladies, that's where it is. That's where it is. So I'm going to read this real quick. And if I want to open the call lines, we use the StreamYard tonight because I'm tired of Zoom acting silly. So, Antoine, bro, appreciate you. Antoine way back in the house. A Free always coming through. Oh yeah. So yeah, uh-huh. Into the studio. Just became a member. All right. I'm gonna add me to the stream over here. We're going to audio. Speakers are going to be that. Cool. So we got the chat going on. So there we go. There we go. So, ladies, how many of you are surprised that the pool is nowhere as deep as you thought it was? Also, guys, you're going to want to make sure if you're in Miami, I'm here in Miami for the week. The Miami, it's going to be so dope. So many things are going on right now. If I see you out, give me a pound, say what's up. Patreon, stay tuned in. Family, stay tuned in. It's the holiday season. Don't be surprised. I actually take somebody on holiday shopping. Why is this important? This is important because honestly, I like to see more black women start to win. But I need you ladies to start acting with a sense of urgency that I just don't see that a lot of you have. I just don't honestly see a lot of black women moving with a sense of urgency. When I actually have had folks go out on dates and like, well, he was cool, but this just didn't work. And I'm like, wait a minute, you do realize, just like when the matchmakers will come back and say, I found you a pilot or an ex-Falcon, and you acting like he's this or that. Ladies, I don't care how attractive you are. I don't care how nice a woman you are. Get your shit together and start recognizing 0.0125%. So what does that mean? This means if you're a woman that wants to get married and have $1.5 million in children, and you find a man who wants to marry and wants to have a traditional wife, you better find a way to make that shit work. Because most men don't want that. Most men earning that kind of money already have their children or know enough about this world to not want to take the risk on marrying you and then being divorced in 5 to 7 years and having to take and pay all your damn debt and then him having to pay you spousal support and maybe even child support. That's the real. Let's get to it. Let's get to the real. Let's get to the real. Women are like, well, why don't men want to marry? Because men at this level know they're a target. Men at this level know they're a target. And if you are a man earning $250,000 or more, and you know that there are only 125,000 of you, and 83 million women, 10 million black women, and you know that your particular kind of woman, let's say you're a guy like myself, or you like educated women, I know, just like the guys that I kick it with and hanging out with, they know they like college educated women. Those women are coming with college debt. Those women are coming with consumer debt. They don't live in a Section 8 apartment. They live in nice homes and things like that, or condos. These women are in 6 figures of debt. Let's get real. And then you want $1 million in kids and you're 6 figures in debt. And you're asking a man that you're tiptoeing around and not even breaking yourself for and this and that. Do you want him to marry you, sit you down, you don't have to work, he has to pay all your debt that you've acquired over your life. No other man's ever had to carry this. He has the inordinate burden of all that. And what is his guarantee? Oh, I get it. You're a nice woman. You're different. You wouldn't do that. All women say that. All women say that. But the stats show that you would too. And it's going to be on you to prove to him that you are worth that inordinate risk. A man at this level is taking on $1.5 million in children, an additional $2.5 million to $3 million in retirement. That's $4.5 million. Let's say $3 million in retirement because 2.4 is for average. $3 million in retirement, 1.5 million in children. That's not even the wife cost. You're looking at a man looking, let's say, 1.5 million in children. Let's say that at least that in the wife cost. Let's say that, no, if she's a, let's just say she's a PhD.
I'm a PhD.
She's earning at least 6 figures herself, high 5 figures, low 6s. She's
Danger zone.
30 years old. That's 33 years, 35 years between now and retirement. 35 years between now and retirement. So 35 years, and she's making $100,000 a year. She had 35. She's not going to have to work. $3.5 million. If that woman was making $100,000 at 30 years old, and she got to not work anymore, that's $3.5 million worth of salary he's going to have to lost income to the family that he has to make up. You become a wife. That's $3.5 million plus your consumer debt, plus your student loan debt, plus the children. The children, $1.5 million. We're already at $5 million in children and wife. That's no student loan, no consumer. Just taking her, just for her to be a stay-at-home wife, it cost him $5 million. $5 million. In her lost income that he has to make up, and for her to be a stay-at-home wife. Still has to do retirement, still has to do travel, still has to do everything else. And she still has to live. So ladies, understand, you're talking about being this Cosby kind of wife, you're talking about every bit of with 3 children, every bit of a $7 million investment. $7 million over a lifetime. How are you moving to justify this? Most of the women that don't even date like they got, most women at this level date like a man needs to prove something to them. Let's get into it. Ladies only. This is going to be a hot one. This is going to be a hot one. Because I know the ladies are going to be pissed to the highest of pistivity on this one. Ladies only. I know ladies are going to be pissed to the highest of pistivity, but I don't care. You ladies need to understand what you're asking. Hey, take on me and understand. Oh yeah, understand something. Where you get these numbers? You drive a Mercedes, she gonna want to drive a Mercedes. You drive a BMW, she gonna drive a BMW. You got to keep her at least in what you have. So whatever he's doing, he's going to have to do for himself, he'll have to do for her. He's going to work himself into an early grave. And how many men will tell you to this day that they are willing to do this stuff, and women are still moving like they are the prize? At least back in the day, women of old at least understood that a man was taking on significant debt, significant responsibility doing this stuff. Women today act like it's no big deal. Well, I'm special. I'm worth it. Why? What makes you special? What makes you worth it? All right. Yeah. It says women only. So now I see you. I'm
Yeah,
clicking.
I'm sorry, dude. I
It's no
just want to
problem.
say I love you.
I probably appreciate it, but no. Nope. Nope. Don't do that. Don't do that. Mm-mm. So, audio. So here's how we do that. So there's the stream. Click the link. Ladies, let's answer some questions. Are modern women in deep trouble? There's the link. Oh, shout out to Gregory. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Caprice 4100. Shout out to Beam Me Up Scotty. Shout out to Phil Knight. Shout out to Kendrick B. Shout out to Melanie King Official. Became a new member. All right. Comments, banners. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. Let's see. Private chat is not open. Comments are there. All right. So, shout out to Jay Moore. Guys, I'm not at home, so I don't have my full studio set up. We're going to do as best as we can on the road. I want to start answering some questions too, ladies. Let's get it. It's already live. Is this the wrong link? I don't think so. Copy the clipboard. Let me see. Make sure I see somebody coming in. Somebody just joined in. Nope. Nope. That's the stream. Hello. Hello. Hmm. Let's see. Maybe this is it. Hello, Drea. All right. Gonna kick guest. And hello. How are you?
Okay. I didn't think I would get on that fast.
Say again?
But I saw you from the Lead Attorney channel and came over here and watched a lot of your videos.
Nope.
Hello?
Nope. That's the stream. Hello. Yeah. Do you have YouTube open in another room, another window?
Oh, yeah. Hold
Hello.
on.
Okay.
Right. Now it's off.
Okay. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
And I really appreciated all of the things that I learned watching the videos because nobody told me that. I never saw the manosphere before. And then when looking at your videos and understanding what you were talking about, it
Mm-hmm.
really helped me and the way that I look at my marriage and being
How
grateful.
long have we been married?
I've been married 10 years now.
10 years. Okay. Let me add somebody else to the stream. Hello.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you
How old,
doing?
how old are you?
Actually, today's my birthday. I just turned 27.
27. All right. Is this shocking news for you?
Yes,
Huh?
yes, it is. I've been watching your show for a little bit.
What's shocking about it?
Just the fact that the high value men aren't as accessible as, like you said, portrayed on social media.
I mean, do me a favor. Could you be stationary? You kind of move and you kind
Yeah,
of.
I'm sorry.
So you're 27. Do you have any kids?
No, I don't. I don't have any kids.
All right. So, uh, the, how many how many did you guys think were out there? That's kind of what I'm trying to understand. How many did y'all think were out there?
Um, I didn't know. I don't never put a number to it. I guess I just always thought when you're growing up, you just assume like everybody's going for the same thing, so you just don't think people are gonna fall off. I guess the numbers are gonna fall off.
Do you own a car?
Yes, I do.
Do you own a home?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I bought my home when I was 23.
So that's the thing. You guys have bought things that are a limited supply before. Are the amount of cars you have, your particular model, your style, your benefits, your options, do they make hundreds of thousands of those, or are they limited?
They're limited. Housing is limited.
Right. So women don't think of men as a valuable commodity. You think of yourself as the value in the car transaction. You think of yourself as the buyer. In the home transaction,
Hmm.
you think of yourself as the person buying it versus there are plenty of houses for me to pick from. I'm the one with the money. Quite the opposite. There are plenty of you to pick from.
Yes.
125,000 men for 10 million women versus or 83 million. Uh, hold on. Device not connected. Luann, what do you have to add to that? Unmute yourself. Go ahead, Luann.
Yeah, when I was dating or when I was in the dating pool, as you said, I agree with what you said. We thought from our perspective that it does have a lot of people. But one thing I did, as you said before, when I decided to get married, I
Mhm,
I told my husband, excuse me, I
mhm.
really believe I actually pursued him and told him, okay, I dated with intention, as you said in your previous videos. It
Okay.
wasn't, I didn't just date casually. Once I decided that that's what I wanted for my life, I really actually pursued it with intention. And I guess that's what helped me get to this place now. And with the advice that you gave, it made me realize just how fortunate I am to have the husband that I have. And I'm just happy and glad that I heard your
Well, that's what I want to
program.
hear. That's what I want to hear from more women. I want more women to who already have a man to start treating your man like if I don't have him, I got to go try to find somebody who's in his range who will accept me at my age and with my baggage and everything else. And maybe if I got kids and all the other stuff. That's why women think that I'll just divorce him and I'll get out here in the dating market and I'll just go find another. It's like, no, you better act like you like he's valuable. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming up. I think StreamYards is a little bit easier to use. Uh,
Yes, it is.
go
And
ahead.
one more thing I have to say before I leave.
Go ahead.
You beside all the rest of it, you have me appreciating him and looking at him in this kind of a way. Now he asks me, so why are you looking at me like that? I'm like, because you're awesome.
Yeah. Some guy on YouTube told me to.
So thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye. All right. So, what did you think? So you said before you just kind of thought that men were all plentiful. There are a lot of us out here
I guess
now.
because I grew up with with my dad, and he just seeing him with his wife, and them working as a team, and them just getting building together. I just
Mhm.
always had that assumption that that would be accessible to me. And now that I'm turning 27, I'm realizing that especially in the black community, is just not something that's, I don't know. I just haven't found that expectation with dating. Like it's a struggle to get guys of my age to like commit to building or commit to doing anything of
Well,
that nature,
well,
marriage or
hold on. Did you go to
anything.
college?
No, I didn't go to college.
Okay.
I
So
actually went into business.
Okay, so where did you expect to actually meet a man if you didn't go to college? Because one thing that I hear
At work.
a lot of black women don't go to college with the express intent of meeting a man, where that's what you should be going to. You should be going to college to get a degree and to meet a man. You got to sit down. You got to sit down.
Hmm.
You got to sit down.
I'm sorry.
You're moving all
I'm
over
gonna
the
sit down.
place. You're on live TV.
It's the lighting. I'm
Okay, but you
sorry.
got to sit down. You're on live TV with thousands of people watching. You're moving around. Okay.
All right, I'm sorry.
All right. So at 27, if you
Yes.
didn't go to college to find a man, it's about the numbers. There are tens of thousands of people in college where you can meet them. Okay, and not, if you don't meet them in college, where did you expect to meet them?
Well, I didn't go to college because I always wanted to be an entrepreneur and start my own
That's
business.
fine. That's fine. But,
Um,
but where did you expect to meet the man, though? That's my question.
well, church, to be honest, I was raised in church. So
Okay.
I, I was raised, save yourself to marriage or all of the
Okay.
just church bylaws, I
Okay.
guess.
But let me
So,
ask you a
and
question. Let me ask
when,
you a question. Hold on. Okay, that's
Mhm.
fine. But I was raised in church too, and ain't no men in church. Men are not in church these days.
Yes, these days, yes, they are not in
Well,
church. They are
so,
not in church.
what I'm saying is, think of finding a husband like a business. If you're saying the
Mhm.
primary place I expected to find men were in church, and if you look around and male attendance in church has dropped 40%, that's a problem. That's your only supply. Would it be fair to say that you
I
really never?
think,
Would it be fair to say that you really have been passive
yeah,
when it comes to finding a man, and you really
no,
never? Hold on. Been passive when it
okay,
comes to finding a man, and really didn't think you would have to do anything. You would just have to be who you are, and he would show up.
no, no.
Okay.
Like I said, I was raised very traditional, very traditional. My grandmother, she was raised in the 50s, like cook, clean, house, how to take up a house, a homemaker, all of those things. I was raised with
But
my
dear, but
father,
dear, but dear,
very
but dear,
traditional.
but dear, that's passive when it comes to finding a man.
Being aggressive about it, no. I was not trained to be, I guess, a
What
hunter. No,
what did
no.
I say? I say, would you think it's fair to say that you were passive when it comes to finding a man?
Yes.
That's a problem. You were moving as if the church was supposed to do, honestly, your job for you. And this is what I think a
Mm.
lot of black women need to learn. You have been taught to be passive when it comes to finding a very rare, very special thing. Where in
Mm.
business or where in the world does anyone get something that's rare and special by being passive?
Mm.
This
Nowhere.
is one of the
They don't
biggest.
get it anywhere. So
This
that's
is
what, and I honestly, I've been saying like, how does a woman like me, because I understand the struggle, like how does a woman like me who's been raised this traditional way, raised to think these mad think that, oh, you can find a man in church and those were the integrity and the values and everything,
what's the
you that's
question?
where you'll find your
What's the
match.
question? What's the
How
question?
do I guess adapt to the times of now? How do I go about it? How do I
Well,
guess
I'll answer
unlearn
it. I'll answer
the
it.
traditional way,
I'll
because
answer
I've
it. I'll
this is
answer it.
mhm,
Can you hear me?
yeah, sorry.
So when I'm talking, you can hear me. You got to stop that. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. You're not on camera right now, but if you can hear me and you keep talking when I'm talking, why do that?
Maybe like I just heard you. Oh, my apologies.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm asking. Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. How do you go about doing that? Well, this is how you do it. This is how you go about doing it. You said you went into business, right?
Yes.
You go about it just like that.
With a plan.
Well, you say I was raised to be this traditional woman. Well, ma'am, where I grew up, women were traditional. They weren't in business. So when you want something,
That's
but when you want something, you know how to act. And the truth is, and we got to get to the truth, you were not taught or you don't think of men as something that you have to do. A business is something that you have to do. If you don't do your business,
mhm.
it won't be successful. If I don't go to math class or English class, if I don't study, I don't do my homework, I don't make it A.
Mhm.
A man is what? Oh, a man is just, I'm supposed to cook, clean, this, that. I don't have to do anything. I just got to be, and he'll find me. Bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's not church either, because I grew up in the church. Um, what's happened is a lot of the things that black women used to do have been shunned.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
was the
I'm
last time you
struggling with
flirted with
that.
a man? When was the last time you flirted with a man? When was the last time you dropped your handkerchief? Well, then how the hell do you expect it to happen?
Again,
Okay, well,
that.
okay, well that's the point. So these things don't have to be done because at 27 years old, ma'am,
Danger zone!
um, you don't have any time to waste.
Yeah, I've been watching your videos and I've been like, okay, I need to beef up my sexual marketplace value, but being
No,
raised so traditional and so
no,
modest, you don't
see,
really get taught to
well,
be like this, just,
you keep
I
going
don't know
back
what
to
the
how you
word
were
is.
raised. You keep going back to how you were raised, and I can't go with that. Let me tell you why I can't go with that. Because how you were raised, where were you Christian?
Yes.
So how you were raised was not to be a businesswoman in this and in charge. So what I'm saying is that's what it's an excuse. At 27, it's an
I
excuse.
did I did want to say when you did say that and like being a traditional wife and staying at home, I wanted to say, what do you do for the women who didn't have, those luxuries to be that way and had to go out in the workforce and had to provide for ourselves, and
Well, you didn't.
that's just
You
that's the
had to go
situation
out.
that we're in.
You had to go out to work.
I mean, financially, yeah, that's how I felt, like to
Okay.
provide myself with the lifestyle that I
Well,
wanted and to
well, that's
elevate.
okay. Answer the question. You didn't. If you wanted to go out and get money.
I wanted a lifestyle, a certain
Okay.
type
Well,
of lifestyle.
that's what you chose over a man. What I'm going to tell you is going to be hard to hear, and you need to hear it. The problem is,
Yeah.
non-black women were taught you need to go find a man. You went from high school to try to go have a lifestyle without a man, and that's what you got. You got some money and what you call a lifestyle, and you're alone and no skills, and you
Yeah.
don't and you don't fix that because when you should have been finding a man, you were doing you. So I would have to sit down and talk to you and see what your relationship history is like, whatever. But the way it sounds to me is though, like many of our sisters, you're just completely kind of passive, and you know, I'm a nice person, and once he comes by, I'll be good, but I'm not even actively doing anything. You got to become active. And see, there is an aggressive and assertive while being feminine. Go watch the
Hmm.
movie Gone with the Wind. Scarlett O'Hara was a feminine woman, but she was certainly active and aggressive coming to finding a man. Okay, there you go. Peace out. See, I'm gonna tell you guys one of the biggest things is a lot of our women get told this fantasy of that they don't have to do anything. They're just being a nice woman. No, being nice won't do it. There's the link. The link works. The link works. So uh, post a link in the chat. Ladies only. The link works. The broadcast is deleted from YouTube. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Well, anyway.
There's the link. The link works.
Okay, you have turned YouTube off in the background.
Okay, it's off.
All right.
All right. Well, hi. Good.
Hello, how are you? How old are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I am well. What's your first name?
LA.
Huh? Allie? What's your first?
LA.
LA? Okay, how old are you?
Yeah. I'm 25.
It sounds like you have YouTube playing in the background.
I don't. I only have you.
Okay.
Is there still that echo?
We'll try to go with it.
All right.
Turn it down a little bit. We'll try to go there. So,
Okay.
how was this shock? Was this shocking?
No, not at all.
Really? It
No.
wasn't? None of this was new
Uh,
information to you?
no, it's not.
Are
It's
you
not new
married? Are
information.
you married? Are you single? What?
I'm not married. I'm single.
Okay. Gloria, go ahead and come in. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Samuels. I'm good.
Good. So, how old are you?
I'm 38.
38. So, how goes it? Was this shocking? Was this new news, new information?
Um, Not really.
Did you know how
It's
deep your pool was?
actually yes, because once upon a time I was a single mother,
Uh-huh.
and I knew that I didn't really have a lot of options. So I pursued a gentleman, and we later got married.
Okay. Cool. You're married now?
Yes, I've been married for almost 4 years.
Cool. Any children?
Yes, I have a 13-year-old son.
Okay. So, Elaine, coming back to
Yes.
you. Do you want to get married one day?
I don't.
Huh? You don't?
I don't.
You
No.
want children?
No.
Okay. So, what brings you to the broadcast then?
I'm honestly you. I discovered you a couple weeks ago, and I just think you are one of the most fascinating people. I've had the pleasure to snoop around your videos and sort of discover what your philosophy is about women. And honestly, as a person who doesn't want to get married or have kids, I've been trying to see if your belief system has any place in my life, and if whether I can really use any of that to my advantage. I wouldn't say necessarily that I'm looking for a high value man. I think that your definition of that is very stringent. However, I will say that people that are on trajectory to be in that position, I have come into contact with throughout my life as a young adult woman, and um, I I feel kind of bad for some of the women that come on this channel looking for guys like that because after encountering so many of them, not ballers and entertainers, but people that go on to be investment bankers at JP Morgan or people that are, making north of 150 working at Microsoft, they aren't really all that special. When you take away the money factor from them, they're not really
Okay.
giving.
Okay, hold on. Now we're gonna have a
Yeah.
problem. You say they're not all that special. Now they're all women.
Yeah, I agree.
So why should the men have to be special if y'all aren't? They're just people.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. People come on this show and they seem
Mm-mm.
to be um
No, hold on.
there's this idea.
Hold on, hold
Yeah.
on, hold on, hold on. You can have your opinion, but
Mhm.
careful because people can have their opinion about you too. You don't want to get married, you don't want to have children. Are you going to be able to take care of yourself through your end years through your income?
You know,
Did you go to
hopefully
college? Did you go to college?
I did, yeah.
Did you graduate?
I did, yeah.
What's your degree?
Well, I went and got my bachelor's and I got that in neuroscience, and now I have a master's in public health.
Okay.
I'm a PhD.
Well, it's a
At the
master's.
top of your career, how much do you expect to make annually?
I know some people that do make somewhere around 300. Some folks make more depending on if the directors of, independent
So
firms.
by the time you're 65 years old, will you have your $2.4 million cash to retire on?
Absolutely.
Okay, then that's fine. If you have your 2.4 million to retire on, then you don't need anybody. But you'll, well, presumably, if you live a reasonably healthy life, but depending upon your health, you may need much more than that for in-home care and all the other kind of stuff. Most people,
Absolutely.
the Western world is not set up for individuals to live their entire
Well,
life.
America. Sorry,
I
don't mean
said
to
the
interrupt.
Western world. America's not just the West. It's not set up in Canada. It's not, well, not Canada. It's not set up in Korea, Japan, the UK.
Well, I wouldn't consider Korea and Japan the Western world.
Democracy.
Okay.
Where in the world is it set up for individuals to live life to the end of days on average income?
I'm not super familiar with
It's
elder
not.
care.
It's not. It's not because it's a payer system. And see, the problem is if most women earn less than men because they choose professions that are different.
Hmm.
So if you're not going to have a man in your life, fine, but you need to make as much as a man plus some, because someone's going to have to take care of you in your age years, and you won't be extended family, you won't be your children, and the damn sure can't be the government, because that's just other people. So conversely, when you say men that are a certain caliber or a certain income aren't that special. Why should they have to be special? They just have to be men.
Well, I guess that kind of goes into what I've kind of taken away from your shows and your programs. Um, I think what you're trying to do is advocate for people to find people on their level, right? And I absolutely agree with that 10,000%. But I do think that there's a narrative being pushed that because a man has money, and I think you agree with this, that they're going to be of a caliber in other areas
No,
of
it
their
doesn't.
life. And like you're
No, it
saying, like
doesn't.
they're
No,
just
it
going to
doesn't.
be
No, it
men.
doesn't. No, it
That's
doesn't.
going to be
No, it doesn't. I do not do that. No, it doesn't.
okay.
No, see, that's bullshit.
Oh.
If you, what do I, what, okay, you say what I define as a high value man. What does that mean? Do you know? What do I define
Uh
as a high value man?
okay. Well, first you say that somebody who's been making a certain income, I think it's usually um I don't know if you have a specific I don't remember if you have a specific number. I feel like it changes. But usually above six figures, they've been doing that for 2 to 3 years consistently. And usually men that are below 30 don't qualify as high value men. Additionally, these are supposed to be men that have character and ethics and morals. I think you have like a DIME acronym, if I'm not
Hmm.
incorrect. Um, Clearly, I don't remember all that it stands for. But additionally, you say that high value men have options. They're looking for a young woman who's beautiful, who's willing to be
I've never said
submissible.
anything about a young woman.
No?
No. See, what you've shown
Oh,
is you don't,
sorry.
you're
A
mixing
beautiful
okay,
woman
man, what I say,
then.
what other people say are two different things. A high value
Okay.
man is not my definition. I didn't make up the term high value man, and I didn't come up with six figures. Women came up with that number back in 1985. That's what women said they wanted. A man who's making six figures, $10,000 a month or more, Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, Austin dollars, adjusted for your cost of living. He's been making it for 3 to 5 years. He has a network of high value men and other people. High value men recognize him as a peer. He's doing something that's at LinkedIn level, a level of visibility, and he's useful to others in a group. So I think men like that are highly useful and highly effective anywhere you put them.
Oh, absolutely.
So when you say they're not all that
But
special,
actually,
they
let me
are
caveat.
special.
When
They
you say
are
highly
they
useful and
are
highly
they are
effective,
they are special because they
uh-huh.
are extremely useful and valuable
Okay. In what capacity exactly?
because they're useful.
No, no, like as partners, as community leaders, as
I don't
people in the
care.
workforce.
That's the problem. They're useful to others in the group. They outperform their reach. They do more than just themselves. That's what increases their value. You know what? Who determines their value? The rest of the world. The rest of the world says these men are more valuable than those men. That doesn't mean you have to like them. That doesn't mean they have to tickle your fancy. That mean they got to be special. And honestly, I prefer a world where men didn't have to be so damn special. When men could just be men. That's probably the
Mhm.
problem today. You ladies want men to be everything plus high value and everything else and this and that. And y'all ain't that. Ain't none of
I
what
think
what
women do try to be that though. Do you
no, they
not agree
don't.
with that?
Really, if they did, then why are men really justify that by the women who are complaining about the state of dating and relationships and judge that based on the very men that these women say they want and what these men are asking for and what they're getting.
Are you basing that solely on the people that come onto your show, or
Ma'am,
because I feel like when
due respect,
I feel
ma'am.
like the women that
Do
come
you
onto your
think I
show
just?
typically are
I mean, are you
people.
being silly? Are you being? I mean, 52 years old, and I've been around a hell of a lot longer than this show. This show is not a cross section of my life. It's a show. But in my day to day, anyway. How long have you been watching my program?
A couple of weeks, but I've been
Okay,
binging.
well, you're
It's
really not
so
really
good.
qualified to talk about it, honestly,
Okay.
because
But
you don't.
I haven't just been watching the shows that you've put out in the last couple of weeks.
Well,
I've
if
been
you know
looking at
anything
your
about who I
Instagram for
am, you would know better. If you know anything about
years
who
or
I
so.
am, if you know anything about who I am, you would know this show is more than just that. But at the end of the day, my exception with you is when you came in and started talking about men at this level, they're not all that special. Neither, and why should they be? Women at that level aren't that special either. Why does anybody have to be special? Disney.
I think being special, maybe that wasn't, I don't know if I used that word, but I think it just
It
means
wasn't a
that,
positive thing to say about men.
okay, I'll say that. It wasn't the nicest thing
Then
to
why the
say.
fuck
You
would
got
you
me
come over here and say that?
Why would I come up? Because I feel
Yes,
like,
why would you come on a men's show and say the men aren't special and expect me just to
is it a
allow
men's
that
show?
shit to
Because you
slide?
always open it up to women. So I feel like
Well,
your
that's
demographic, I
reasonable.
actually
Why
don't
would
know
you
what
come
your
over to a men's
demographic
show and say the men aren't special? Why would you come on to a
is.
men's show and say men aren't special when you don't even want a man?
I'm saying they inherently aren't special because they have money. I'm saying that the character of the like
Why
you
does
can
it?
find a person with
Let
good
me ask you
quality
this, man.
character and you're not making that kind
Why
of
does it
money.
matter to you anyway if you don't want a husband or children? What does it matter if men are special or
Oh,
not?
because I still intend to date. And so because I still
Hmm.
intend to date, it's nice to find people that are on my level that
On your level, what does
um
that mean? Pretentious?
Mhm.
Huh?
Sorry?
What does that mean?
Um who have similar interests, similar education
I'm a PhD.
background, similar qualities, similar
What is your longest
morals.
relationship?
It was like 18 months, somewhere around there.
How long ago was that?
That was in college. So I give that like 4. It ended around 4 years ago.
Okay. So you just plan on dating
Mhm. Yeah.
and
And I
have
wanted to sort of also pick your brain about that.
just dating. That's fine. That's a modern lifestyle, as long as you don't make children. But you know, enjoy.
Mhm.
But then you don't need anybody other than just to have fun with. Why do they need to be on a certain level if you're not going to really do anything other than with? If you're not going to partner with anybody long term, if you're just going to date.
Oh, because dating is a wonderful experience. You get to learn about
Really?
someone else's views
How
on
old are you
life,
again?
their
How old are you again?
culture.
How old are you again?
25.
Yeah, you sound like a fool.
I do? Why is that?
Wait till you're 40 years old. I want you to go poll 40-year-old women and see how wonderful dating is.
That is why I wanted to ask you, like, what is the dating scene for older women? Because it sounds like when they go
Women beings
out,
are
from what
women.
I've seen on your show, which is
Okay,
also kind of why I've
then
been
you need to listen.
sorry?
Uh, no one, the human beings are really, there shouldn't be a dating scene over 40. That's not how it's, young lady. Human beings are usually meant to couple up. If you look at how countries are organized, I just said, how are you going to pay for yourself after retirement? If you know you're going to make enough money to cover all of your needs to the end of days, that puts you in an infinitesimally small group of people. This world is set up for a man, woman, get together, children, benefit, benefit state grow. It's not meant for individual here to live life as single people, not reproduce, take your resources, die. The world dies that way. It's not set
Can I
up.
ask a question though?
You can listen.
I don't
You
think.
can listen. You can listen because you your age after 25, the social scene dries up. The ability to date becomes extremely concentrated and shrinks. If you were watching the lady who I had on here earlier, 27 years old, she can't find anyone to date because she didn't go to college. There is no effective dating scene at 40 years old.
Okay. So then, but I don't think fear of, like, I don't think having a family just so I could potentially have someone who's going to cater to me is reason enough. Like, I work
I don't care.
in
You asked
healthcare,
about the
I
dating
work with
scene.
people that
The
are on
bottom line
Medicare and
is, ma'am,
Medicaid,
it
and
doesn't
so
matter.
many of them. I'm
Ma'am,
sorry, Mr. Samus, can I get my point
it
across,
doesn't.
please? I am talking.
Don't come over here with that shit. You can talk all you want to. This is my show. If I want to overtalk you, I'll overtalk you. Nobody wants to hear what a 25-year-old with an opinion has to say. What the fuck you think that applies? And it's good that you plan to be by yourself. You can sit over there right where you belong. I'm talking. Oh
Well,
my
I asked
God.
politely. I did ask
Yeah.
politely.
Hey, look here,
So
look
can
here.
I ask a question?
If I
Is it
put you on mute, I put you on mute for a reason. Because I don't know where you normally go, but over here, this is the show. You don't overtalk the host. Now you can ask a question. That's cool.
Thank you.
Hmm.
So my question is, I was watching another one of your shows, and it was a young woman. I think she's around 28, and she said, "I don't want kids. I need kids because I don't want to die alone." Um, and you sort of berated her that entire segment, saying
I don't
that's
know what
not
show you
a good
talk.
reason to want
What's the
kids.
question? I don't know what's the question. I don't want your
The
age.
question is it good is this concern, right? This concern of care when you're older reason enough to have children?
I don't know, ma'am. I don't. Why don't you? Why? What are you asking me? Are you asking me about what I said to that woman? Because I don't trust your recollection. Because you couldn't even recall what you said on high value man was. So I don't. When you say my parameters were stringent, you didn't even recall that even partially. Yeah, two or three elements of something that's much deeper. So I don't trust your recollection. What is your ultimate question?
My ultimate question is the desire to be cared for when you're older reason enough to have children?
Is it for you?
For me, if you were going to say that, if I was asking,
I
I'm
don't know
asking
you.
you.
I don't know
For me.
you. I don't know you.
Okay.
I don't know you. But from what I'm seeing right now, no. What I'm seeing right now is modern woman who thinks I guess you're going to have enough to take care of yourself. But I will tell you this, young lady, um, I'm not really big on, this world is about people and relationships matter more than things. There are plenty of people who have made, men and women who've made far more money than you will ever see in your lifetime. And they don't look for that money at the end. Their life is about your relationships, the richness of them, your utility to other people. And at 25, it sounds wonderful to I'll just be single and make money and travel and this and that. Yes, but that's not how the world is. You look at how many 40-year-old women said the same thing at 25, and they come to this show week in and week out looking, I wish I would have done something different then. Matter of fact, I probably got text messages from women who follow right now saying, I wish I could talk to that young lady because she's making a mistake. But I'm not going to try to tell somebody who believes they understand everything. If you know you, if this is truly what you want and you're self aware, then live that life. But you need to be prepared to deal with all the consequences, meaning you're prepared to take care of all your care, all your quality of life, everything. And if that's the case, your life is yours to live just like anyone else's. But what I balked is when you started talking about what the men were. You'll never be able to come over onto a men's show talking shit about what men are when I don't think women like yourself are all that special either. And probably the guys would say you're not as special because you're not supposed to be special. You're just supposed to be human.
Hmm.
Have a good
Well, it
night.
looks like the
I'm a PhD.
Modern woman, everybody. Modern French toast woman. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Um, I'm okay, Mr. Samuels. It's now 6:15 in the morning in the UK, and I just wanted to say that with the last caller, she's in for a complete reality check when she gets older.
I know.
And I say that, yeah, I say that because I've got an auntie in Canada. She's in her 80s,
Mm-hmm.
and she is crying. She's heartbroken. She's alone. And the one thing that she's always regretted in life is not having a family.
Mm-hmm.
She she's basically, sorry, I'm a bit nervous. She's
Go ahead.
basically saying that she's old and all her siblings are gone and nobody's going to bury her.
Bones,
Nobody's going to
sabe o que
be
deveríamos
at
fazer?
her
Lavar roupa,
funeral
lavar
on
louça
that
e
basis
pagar as
alone.
contas.
Droga de lança-mísseis
Oh,
chato.
What the heck is that? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh okay.
That came out of nowhere. I don't know
um,
what that was.
yeah. Yeah, I've been wanting to call in for a while, but I do shy away from it because of your previous callers in the past,
Wow.
and I hope
Look,
that my accent ain't so bad because I'm not from London. I'm actually from Nottingham in the middle of the UK. So,
you,
but
you know
I think
you
you're
you
doing
know you guys
brilliantly.
all sound
And
alike to us, right?
pardon?
We you guys all sound similar to us. We can't determine who's from London, who's from whatever. It all sounds British to us, right,
Okay.
Gloria? It all sounds this. I don't know. This is South Wales. This is London. This is Canterbury. This is whatever. Sounds like bangers and mash to me.
Yes.
I don't know. So
No, I
so
will say this.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I will say this, that I've been married now for 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been with my husband for a lot longer than that. And I met him when I was at university, studying to be an architect.
Good.
And when our relationship developed, I found myself in a crossroads situation of where am I going with my life? Do I want to basically do the leap of faith and go
Mm-hmm.
all in, no questions asked, and just pray and hope for the best?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I go down the path of my architectural degree
Mm-hmm.
and potentially work all the God sends hours and not have anything to show for it in terms of my family? Because my ultimate dream was to have children and
Take
things
about
like that.
another
And I
30
think
seconds.
people
I'm
do.
gonna bring Gloria in too. Go ahead, Gloria. I want to let you speak too because go ahead and unmute yourself. And this Jayla
Um,
person, I don't see
okay.
your picture here. So Jayla, and without a picture, I can't bring you into the stream. Go ahead, Gloria.
Yes, Mr. Samuels. I was a little nervous at first and I got kicked out. But
You saw I
yeah,
moved
I
you
was
out
once
because I
upon
knew it was about to go off the rails. And
okay.
I didn't want you to feel
Um,
like I was talking to you because I could kind of sense that it was about to go there. So go ahead.
I understand. Um, I was once upon a time a single mother and I didn't
Hmm.
know what else to do. And I knew I couldn't be picky and choosy with looking for a mate.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I humbled myself and I made a list and I said, you know, there's not really that much to choose from, as in the gentleman,
Hmm.
but I had my options, and then there's the ones that were high value,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew that, by me being what, as the questions that you usually ask, because I've been watching you for about a year now. I'm 5'7" and I'm 198, so I knew trying to get
But
a high
you're married.
value man
You're
was like
married,
out of the
right?
question. Yes, sir.
Well, there you go. You know, after a woman's in a relationship, I tend to just
Mhm.
say that I don't say anything other than, do you know what your man wants? And
Yes.
work with him to find out what he wants and make sure he knows what you want, and y'all do what y'all can to make each other happy. I stay
Right.
completely away from women who are in relationships because first off, your man has picked you and you picked him. What the hell I got to say
True.
about it? That's it. You won. Congratulations. Hey, where the horns?
So
There you go. Good job. So enjoy the holidays though, because it makes it better to have holidays with family and a husband, right?
yes,
That's all I'm saying.
it
Enjoy,
does.
ladies.
And I don't. I
Go
have a
ahead.
dog, and I know I won't die alone.
Yeah, because you got a husband and kids. Congratulations. All right. See
Thank
y'all
I
you
later.
know
so.
that I work hard to be viable to my husband, so I don't want no one coming in taking what I've got because
That's
he's
right.
mine.
That's right. That's what she just came in and said. You can't take her husband. That's what I want to hear. More women start to act territorial. Appreciate it. More women need to start acting territorial, jealous, possessive, and earn these things. Ladies, what I'm trying to get you to understand, the StreamYard seems to work better. Okay, I still got to get used to it. Give me some grace and a little bit of mercy. Your Godfather will figure it out. To the previous young lady, understand something. That this has been 2 weeks for you, but this has been a year plus talking to women and several years talking to men. What may be new to you is old hat over here. The world is set up for men and women to be together. Most of the reason women don't want to be with a man, most, not all, most is because of some sort of fear. If you truly just want to be a single woman and don't want to have children and don't want that responsibility, I know these. There's a term called executive relationships, executive wives. That's something completely different. But if you're going to go through life by yourself, you better be prepared to take care of all the financial responsibility, including unforeseen illness, etc. But back to the original program. Um, yeah, I got to take the banner off of here and everything else. But back to the original program. I'm going to say it again. Ladies, what what I recognized is far too many women truly overestimate the sexual marketplace value. They overestimate the size of the pool, and they overestimate how far they are from wife. Many women overestimate how far they are from wife. Many women think, act, and are currently moving like if I drop the kind of man they say they want to be with right there, that he would just automatically pick her because she's just a natural choice. And that could be farther from the truth. A lot of you ladies don't realize that the kind of man you want something from a woman, and more than anything else, he's going to vet you to make sure he doesn't get screwed. I'm going to say this again. If you're a woman with a PhD
I'm a PhD.
and you want 3 children, you want $1.5 million in children, and you're making 6 figures or more, and at 30 years old, we're already talking about 1.5 million in children and $100,000 over 35 years. That's 3.5. That's $5 million that he has to make in children and your lost income. We're talking about a man who's going to be into this situation over a lifetime for at least $7+ million, plus your BMW, your Porsche truck, whatever. And we still have to look at the divorce numbers. The divorces, almost over a 50% divorce rate. And in this country, to date, women initiate fully 80% of the divorces. In the black community, average marriage is 5 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Men do not do everything that it takes to get to this level to then decide to risk it all on someone who can go into a family court system and just blow the world up. Take his children, take the money, get payments. You ladies need to understand what you're asking. Tomorrow I'm going to go into that discussion because you ladies need to start understanding it from the men's point of view. That's why I started talking to that young lady and it went where it was. Get tired of hearing women bad mouth men all the time. Nothing special. Who makes you special? You ladies need to understand that men are human. And men today are, in my opinion, men today are better at relationships than women because a lot of you ladies don't even understand how much it costs. How much it costs, what you have to do. You don't even understand. You think the pool is 100 feet long and 80 feet deep, and it's really 1 foot deep. Remember, if nothing else, 0.125. Stamp it on your freaking forehead. 0.125. That is your percentage of men. For 10 million black women, you roughly want 125,000 black men. 83 million women in this country want 125,000 black men, and the top percentages of other men too. The thing to remember, the more money men tend to make, the more racially loyal they tend to be. So thinking that Brad, Lee, Ahmed, and Enrique are going to start making that kind of money and marry Keisha, you're kidding yourself. Like I said yesterday, who's taking all the high value men? Anastasia, Maylene, Maria, because they are being something to a man. They are showing up. They are putting themselves out there and they are acting on risk and taking the step first. Ladies, understand something. I came to Miami this week for a specific purpose to do something because Miami is a good place to do a lot of things. But the end result is still the same. You will get old. Time is ticking. Time is ticking. And a lot of you ladies need to understand something. That you, whether you're danger zone or not, you are getting older. If you are over 30, if you're in the danger zone, you need to start acting accordingly. You think you're going to meet a man, and he's going to give you $1.5 million in kids and just going to marry you just like that? He got to put you through your paces. That's why I love this program. Ladies, let's get into it. Let's get into it. This has been a good show. It's 1 o'clock. I got stuff to do. This was dope. Shout out to A Free, stream sponsor. He said, A Free say, enjoy Miami, brother. Stay away from the women with gold teeth. You ain't said nothing but a word. You ain't said nothing but a word. Follow me on Instagram, people, for sure. Follow me on Instagram for sure. That's where you'll see a lot of the stuff. You know, my hope is still this. Black women, I want to see you win, but you're going to have to do better. Who is Miranda? I don't see anybody. Understand something. If I see you guys in the green room, the StreamYard is still up, but I don't see anybody, so I'm gonna sign off. If I don't see you in the green room, I'm not gonna bring you up. 2022, self-awareness is sexy, and we're going to talk about how you become high value. All of us, I'm going to say the majority of us, 80+% of us, we were born for middle class or poor people. Single parent household, and we're just trying to make it work. Ain't nobody in here special. Ain't nobody in here. I love it when people talk about Kevin Samuels and how he promotes his luxury lifestyle. You ain't never heard me promote no damn luxury lifestyle while I'm sitting in the penthouse of Miami in a suit. But you ain't never heard me say you need to go out and buy a Tom Ford suit. You need to go out and buy a Lamborghini and fly jets and none of that shit. I don't say that. Only thing I talk about is what the kind of men, women say they want and what those kind of men want from the women who want from the women who they want. That's it. That is a very small pool, very niche. But if that's the niche you're going to swim in, if that's the pool you're going to swim in, ladies, it's 1 foot deep. 1 foot deep, just on the raw number. 1 foot deep on the raw number. 1 foot deep. I love this camera. 1 foot deep on the raw number. 1 foot deep on the raw number. I bet you one thing. I bet you there are women on the other side of this camera right now starting to go through their mental Rolodex, through their mental contacts, and starting to think about, wait a minute. I met a guy last week. I met a guy 6, 7 months ago, and I didn't like the way he chewed his spinach. But he was kind of into me. But you know what's going to happen next? They're going to be, hey, big head. Y'all better go, hey, big head, these dudes. I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave. One of the biggest mistakes you ladies make is you overplay your hand, you overestimate your impact and influence, and a man may be liking you or digging you. You take too long to move, you mess around, and then he decides to say, well, ain't nothing going to happen, and he moves on down the street like Monopoly. Do you think just because you hit him with the hey, big head, he's going to be like, wait a minute. Back then you didn't want me, now I'm hot all on me. Ladies, you better start moving with a sense of urgency when you meet them. Don't wait until you're like, oh, I liked him. I didn't know that. That's what self-awareness is about. Don't wait till it's too late. Because you may be entitled, privileged, and arrogant in your Western style of dating, and you may have been used to getting what you want. Ladies, let me tell you. You ready for this? Ladies, let me tell you something. All you pretty professional problem women, you live in a world and date in a world where you're accustomed to winning. You're about to start losing. And there is nothing like when a woman really takes a rejection for the first time. Women who are not used to losing, women who are used to getting everything they want, don't understand losing. It doesn't matter if you understand it or not. You keep playing the game long enough, you're going to lose. Suggest you get out of the game, pull a lever, push the button, and seize on your guy and gone off into the sunset. That's what I've been saying for the longest. You better go back to your baby daddy. You better go back to your husband. You better go back to your man. You better go back to the man who wants to get with you and figure out how to make that shit work. Or take your chance out here and be one of the millions looking for one of the 100,000. It's up to you. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. The numbers are what they are. I'm going to check the audio, see how the audio sounds on this. It's a little bit different. But I like not being strapped into it. I can move around, but I got to figure out what's going on over here. Anyway, I got to go. It's over 1 o'clock. Till the next time, people. Peace. We are gone. I'm a PhD.
I got beans, creams, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ram, raw, raw, beans, creams, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rat.
Thank you guys for hanging in there with me. We're going to figure it out. Shout out to all my nieces and nephews, all my kin folks and cousins.
I'm a PhD.
I don't need a cookbook.
That's good camera. Hello, close up. Camera 2. Miami, y'all. Ba ba da ba ba da ba da. Bobbity bobbity bop. We're gone.